How is everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Banker Next Door. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today we're going to be doing another AI update. I have a whole series of articles around artificial intelligence that I want to bring to everybody here today. So we are going to get kicked off here and we're going to go rapid fire. We're going to go pretty quickly through a bunch of these things, but actually, I'm going to start with this. So Tesla and Samsung, they basically signed a deal for $16.5 billion to make AI chips. So the chips will be designed for AI data centers, autonomous driving, and robots. Shares in the South Korea tech giant surged after this announcement. And then in addition, Musk allies are also raising up to $12 billion for what are called XAI chips as the startup burns through cash. So XAI is tapping into the booming private credit market to find the money it needs to build massive data centers. So XAI seeks up to $12 billion to buy NVIDIA chips for a new data center to train Grok, its AI chatbot. So Elon Musk is pulling every financial lever he can to keep pace in the artificial intelligence arms race. Just weeks after Musk's XAI raised $10 billion through sales of stock and debt, the startup is working with a trusted financier to secure up to $12 billion more for its ambitious expansion plans. People familiar with the situation said. So again, kind of continuing the theme here very much of this AI arms race, running through, all the big players, everyone and everything. They're all obsessed with building data centers, getting more chip production, obviously energy production to fuel all this. So again, we're seeing that here, and this will be a theme as we go through a lot of these articles here today. OpenAI's Sam Altman didn't expect banks to take to AI so soon. Financial institutions have been surprise early adopters of ChatGPT, and the AI industry is on the advent of intelligence too cheap to meter. OpenAI CEO and co-founder said at a Fed event Tuesday. This is from a couple weeks ago. OpenAI CEO and co-founder Sam Altman was taken aback by the financial sector's early interest in ChatGPT and the firm's other generative artificial intelligence products. It's gotten much better, but when we first launched, the thing that the average person thought about AI is that it hallucinated a lot. He said Tuesday during an on-stage chat with Federal Reserve Vice Chair for Supervision Mickey Bowman at a Capital Framework conference hosted by the central bank. Although Altman pegged ChatGPT's hallucinations at 0.1% or less, that branding kind of stuck with us for a while, so we assumed that financial services were not going to be our early adopters, he said, but some of OpenAI's biggest early enterprise partners were financial institutions. Morgan Stanley, Bank of New York. These are major partners of ours that we're doing fantastic work with, and we were kind of like, are y'all sure? They were like, yeah, we really want to do this, he recalled. These institutions and others figured out how to use the technology and how to structure it enough that they can rely on it for critical processes, he said. The thing that someone said that stuck with me is, hey, we realize this is a new technology and we've got to put some new controls on it, but the risk of us not doing this is that we don't continue to exist as a business. Well, maybe not. That might be a little hyperbolic there. OpenAI and UK just signed a new AI agreement to boost security infrastructure. So Britain and ChatGPT maker OpenAI have signed a new strategic partnership to expand AI security research collaboration and explore investing in UK AI infrastructure such as data centers, the government said on Monday. AI will be fundamental in driving the change we need to see across the country, whether that's in fixing the NHS, National Health Service, breaking down barriers to opportunities, or driving economic growth. Technology Mr. Peter Kyle said in a statement, this can't be achieved without companies like OpenAI who are driving this legislation forward internationally. This partnership will see more of their work taking place in the UK. It'll also help in continuing to expand our totalitarian regime and shutting down free speech on social media that we absolutely hate. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That wasn't in the article there. I'm sorry. I went a little bit too far with that one. Okay, what else we got here on the OpenAI front? So OpenAI, they unveiled GPT-5, its latest and most powerful model after a 2-year wait. So CEO Sam Altman says using chatbot will be like talking with doctorate level expert in any topic. OpenAI released GPT-5, its most advanced AI model, after 2 years of development, touting its expert-level capabilities. So OpenAI on Thursday announced the release of GPT-5. Interacting with the new technology really feels like talking to an expert in any topic, like a PhD level expert, Chief Executive Sam Altman said on a call with reporters Wednesday. He emphasized its ability to allow anyone to create software applications by typing in simple English language prompts, a process commonly referred to as vibe coding. In a pre-scripted memo, an OpenAI researcher asked ChatGPT to create a web application that could teach his partner French through interactive games and flashcards. The chatbot did so within minutes, writing more than 300 lines of code. The release follows a year of massive revenue growth for the company, which is still losing money at a rapid clip as it races to develop AI models with human-like intelligence. OpenAI has largely shaken off concerns over its unstable governance structure and the loss of key top executives, some of who have started their own companies. Investors are betting that technology advances like GPT-5 will continue powering the startup's growth and allow it to spearhead an economic transformation that is already well underway. So, yes, obviously, yet to be seen whether or not, GPT-5 lives up to all the hype. We shall see. Let's see here. Continuing on here. Clout Wars. Jenson Huang, obviously the CEO of NVIDIA, eclipses Elon Musk and Tim Cook in Washington. So experts say NVIDIA's Jenson Huang has surpassed Apple's Tim Cook in political cachet amid the AI revolution and Donald Trump's second presidential administration. Huang has become a global figure and taken on a new role politically, says Webbush's Dan Ives, adding that the importance of NVIDIA's AI chips has vaulted him ahead of Cook in that sense. So, again, very interesting. Microsoft poaches more Google DeepMind AI talent as it beefs up Copilot. So Mustafa Suleyman's Microsoft's artificial intelligence organization has been picking up talent from Google DeepMind, where he spent several years. Google's Gemini assistant rivals Microsoft's Copilot for consumers. So Meta and Google have also been paying up for experts in the field. Yes, one of the other themes, aside from the AI, part of the AI arms race, is this paying up for talent. I have talked in other episodes about how Meta, Facebook, has been out there just paying stupid money to gobble people up, but you're seeing it across the board here. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, X, Tesla. I mean, they're all just trying to grab each other's talent, poach each other's talent all day, every day. JPMorgan Chase overhauls quantum computing leadership, poaches State Street executives. See, here you go, more of this stuff. So JPMorgan Chase has overhauled the leadership of its internal research group responsible for quantum computing and other forms of advanced technology. Marco Pistoia, the former IBM inventor who became head of JP Morgan's Applied Research Group in 2020, has recently left the bank, according to a person briefed on the matter. JP Morgan has hired Rob Otter, who is State Street's global head of digital technology and quantum computing, to replace Pistoia, according to an employee memo sent on Monday. Wells Fargo taps Google Cloud for agentic AI push. So the tools will give employees real-time market insights, help navigate extensive documentation, and improve customer service. So Wells Fargo will give its employees access to AI agents and tools from Google Cloud, the two companies said Tuesday. The rollout is part of an expanded partnership between the bank and the cloud provider. The tools will support the work of branch bankers, investment bankers, customer relations, and corporate teams. The agentic tools can help employees navigate policies and procedures, sort through scores of documentation, and provide real-time market insights, among other functions. More than 2,000 Wells Fargo employees are using Google's agentic AI platform, Agent Space, and the bank plans to expand employee access in the coming months across all teams, the company said in a Tuesday email. So very interesting. Something else to consider here, the AI boom's hidden risk to the economy. The build out of artificial intelligence infrastructure is costing a fortune, straining companies and capital markets. So in the past 2 weeks, one big tech company after another reported blowout earnings amid a wholesale embrace of artificial intelligence. Look a little closer and a more unsettling side to the AI boom emerges. All the spending on chips, data centers, and other AI infrastructure is draining American corporations of cash. This underscores the hidden risks from the AI boom. No one doubts its potential to raise growth and productivity in the long run, but financing that boom is straining the companies and capital markets. Yes, I would absolutely wholeheartedly agree with that. And this is definitely something that, could we see a blow up at some point just because this just gets to be too much, too much into this thing. So, okay, Gen Z, a couple articles here on the overall labor market. So Gen Z faces potential job crisis as AI threatens to replace many entry-level positions. So this is not good. So tech job postings dropped 36% between February 2020 and July 2025. AI exposure is correlated and declining entry-level job demand. Anthropic CEO predicts AI will eliminate half of entry-level jobs. And then this article from the Wall Street Journal, AI is wrecking an already fragile job market for college graduates. Companies have long leaned on entry-level workers to do grunt work that doubles as on-the-job training. Now, ChatGPT and other bots can do many of those chores. So again, just interesting to see what is happening here. As AI comes for consulting, McKinsey faces an existential shift. So plus AI generated music, experimental medicine in Montana, and AI note taker eavesdropping in this edition of Future of Everything newsletter. So again, this article really points out the fact that McKinsey is really starting to adapt, because the question becomes, as the AI gets more sophisticated and can do much more sophisticated things, and this isn't just McKinsey's problem. This is every major consultant out there. You talk about Gartner, you talk about Accenture, you talk about Boston Consulting Group. These guys are, I think, all in the same boat, Companies have paid dearly for McKinsey's human expertise in nearly a century, relying on the firm's armies of consultants to synthesize complex information, crunch huge amounts of data, and map out solutions to thorny business challenges. But what happens now that AI can do much of that analysis in a matter of minutes and deliver a slick PowerPoint deck to boot? This week, Chip Cutter reports on how the biggest name in consulting is navigating the industry's AI transition. McKinsey is rapidly rewriting its business to adapt to the new technological landscape, changing how it works with clients and coordinates its employees. Since fewer clients want to hire consulting firms for strategic advice alone, McKinsey is positioning itself as a partner, not an advisor to clients. About a quarter of its work today is outcomes-based, where it is paid partly on whether a project achieves certain results. So 40%, the share of McKinsey's revenue that now comes from advising on AI and related technology. So very fascinating. Op-ed here. Silicon Valley is dictating U.S. AI policy. It's a mistake that will benefit China. So China intends not just to compete in making the most powerful AI models, but to define international AI rules and global architecture. So the new U.S. high-level vision, spearheaded by Trump's AI czar David Sachs, a venture capitalist, is a good start, but remains overly anchored to Silicon Valley's commercial interests, writes international policy and national security analyst Dewardrick McNeil. So again, just some interesting things to consider or look at. Let's see here. Let's continue on. AI tools are nearing their Uber moment. It may mean sticker shock for businesses. So AI companies are raising prices as they approach profitability. Experts predict significant AI price increases could be coming in 18 to 24 months. Small businesses should start preparing now for higher AI tool prices. So very, very interesting. Let's see here. Delta gets blowback for using AI to set airfares. So airline says it doesn't target fare offers based on personal information after lawmakers share concerns about technology. Yes, not yet. They have been experimenting this. Obviously, this was kind of a shocking article if you did not see it that came out. And, major concerning. So in other words, one of the examples that was used was, say you have a relative that just died and now you have to last minute, you got to book a flight to fly across the country to go to the funeral. Well, they know that they may use that to jack the price on you, which is just, absolutely absurd levels of price gouging. But I have no doubt that they're already doing that. Not just Delta. I have no doubt that all the, again, there's been stories out there where, like, you get on the internet, say we'll use American Airlines. You go to American Airlines website, you start looking at prices because you want to plan for a trip or whatever. And again, you're just looking, you're not ready to buy yet. You're just checking things out, but you leave, but then you come back and now the prices are higher because again, they know, because of IP, they're tracking your IP address. They know that you've been there looking, and so again, they're jacking prices on you, which is, again, it's absurd. But I think, unfortunately, this is just one example of things like this that are going to be potentially dangerous in AI. The Trump administration pledges to stimulate AI use in exports. The action plan for artificial intelligence aims to boost construction of data centers and encourage exports. And then SoftBank and OpenAI's $500 billion AI project struggles to get off the ground. So Stargate Venture, introduced at a White House event, is now setting the more modest goal of building a small data center by year end. So the $500 billion Stargate project, intended to boost U.S. AI, faces setbacks 6 months after its White House unveiling. So yeah, that project so far not going so great. And then this is the last article here. So AI is dividing the fortunes of the Magnificent Seven. So the AI race is splintering big tech names, with investors pointing to a divergence in business approach and stock performance. So the magnificent stocks are starting to grow apart. They are not quite heading to Splitsville, but some of the market's tech heavyweights have made more headway in artificial intelligence, and that has put a strain on their relationships, at least with respect to their recent relative stock performance. They are in therapy, says Dan Morgan, senior portfolio manager at Synovus Trust, at the Magnificent Seven's divergent paths. So again, just interesting to note what's happening as this whole AI arms race unfolds. We're starting to see stresses on these companies, stresses on their cash flows, stresses on the capital markets, undoubtedly stresses on the energy industry and infrastructure in the United States as this continued push for, building more chips and, building more data centers. It's great. But again, there's some potentially big side effects, if you will, to all of this. So, but a lot of information. That's why I started doing these AI updates, because there's just an insane amount. The news on this just keeps coming fast and furious. So I decided to start doing some of these AI updates where I just run through a whole series of these articles just to try to give people a better overall picture as to what's happening and what's going on in the world, how it's affecting financial services in particular. That's really at the heart of what all this stuff I'm trying to report here. How is this affecting banks? How is this affecting financial system or financial services companies? How is this affecting our overall economy, as it were? So, but with that being said, I'll wrap up by saying, if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, as that always helps the channel. Remember, we are on YouTube, Rumble, and all major podcast platforms. Please be sure to leave your comments down below, as I love getting back to everybody. And as always, make sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. I will be back to everybody with more AI updates in the future. But until then, have a great day out there. Thank you for listening, and I will see everyone again real soon. Thanks a lot.